Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're reviewing ball gougers, and what we've got here is the woodcut gougers, crafted in New Zealand from triple tempered high speed steel. Woodcut tools. Now then, these things look different, don't they? Have you spotted it? Look at the flute. It's only at the tip. No flute coming down. The tips on these tools are actually glued on. Sounds a bit weird and a bit dodgy, but it works a treat. I ordered some, and at first I thought, ooh, I was going a bit gentle with them on the lathe, thinking, crikey, the tips might fly off. But no, they're on there for good. Well, not for good. They ain't coming off. The way you get them off is to apply heat to them, but not enough heat to take out the temper. You put them on, you use them until they're knackered basically, or for you posh people, until they've got no more steel left. And then you apply heat to them. That breaks down the glue inside and they come off. The glue that you glue them on with is a special glue that cures only in the absence of oxygen. So you put the glue on, you put the tip on, you hold it like that for several minutes, and then you leave them overnight and the glue sets. Now the tips, the actual cutting edge is very, very good quality steel. I'm not sure what steel it is, but whatever it is, it holds a good edge, good quality. And because there's no flute coming down the gouge, they're stiffer. You get a lot less chatter, a lot less bounce. They really do work. They do them in various sizes. I think this is 5/8. They do a 1/2 inch one. Three-eighths. And 1/4 inch. As I say, they've all got the glue on tips. Oh, and the tips are obviously significantly cheaper than buying a new gouge each time. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you what price the tips are, but it's cheaper than buying a complete new gouge. The tips, I mean, there doesn't look a great deal of wear there, does there? But apparently they'll last 2 to 3 years. If you're a professional turner, that's going to be shorter, I would imagine. But for your average user, apparently 2 to 3 years. For me, they're going to last significantly longer than that. Because I only use these gouges for one thing: finishing cuts. The last skim that you take, that's what I use these gouges for. And then, of course, they don't need sharpening very often, because you're only taking a tiny little bite of wood. But obviously, with them being solid, that finishing cut, there's no jitter on the tool rest, so you get a better, cleaner cut. Highly recommend them. Not cheap, but highly recommended. There is just one thing. Look at the thickness of the brass ferrule. I've never seen a gouge like this with a ferrule like this. Look at the thickness. It must be 2.5 mil thick. I've never seen a ferrule like that. I think basically they've just got some brass pipe and cut sections off. Really are. And the handles are nice as well. You can get them handled or unhandled, it's up to you. I decided to get them handled. There wasn't a great deal difference in price, so I thought, why not? I'll be lazy and let somebody else make the handles for me. And they work brilliant. I mean, that thing's a bit of a beast. That thing ain't gonna jitter around. That's solid 3/4 inch steel. That thing ain't, you know, even with a good length over the tool rest, you know, you're not going to get that bounce and jitter. But they really are nice gougers. I really recommend these things. I was a little bit dubious at first, as I said, with the tips, with them being glued on. I thought, crikey, they'll never be able to put up with the stresses that wood turning puts on them. But they do handle. They handle it easily. There's no movement. I've checked for gaps appearing and whatnot, but no. They're on there until you want them to come off. As I say, you get them off with a blowtorch. You warm the steel up, and the heat breaks down the glue bond, and they just pop off. You then clean there's like a spigot inside. You clean that up, put fresh glue on, anaerobic glue. That's what it's called, anaerobic glue. It cures in the absence of oxygen. And you put the glue on, put them on, hold them on for a few minutes, then leave them overnight. When you come down, they're on there, and they ain't coming off for a good while. Not until you want them to come off. Brilliant gougers. Recommend those. Really do. Right, what shall we move on to next? Right, let's talk spindle gougers. Here we go. Again, Sovereign. Plasma coated. Titanium nitride. Plasma coated. The Sorby again. This stuff, as you've probably heard in my previous videos, does work. It doesn't last twice as long, but it's certain, I would say 75% longer between sharpenings. Really does. And they're a lovely profile gouge. The handle was made by me. I think it's African walnut. Yeah, the handle made it myself. Nice brass ferrule on it. Nice gouges. Highly recommend the gold ones. If you can afford them, go for them. They last longer. You'll spend a lot less time at the grinder, sorry. Here, excuse me for popping in front of the camera. Here again, there's a smaller one. With the Power Rosa handle, I do believe it is. East African Power Rosa. This handle feels superb, by the way. It's heavy. Just feels beautiful. It's one of the best handles I think I've ever turned. Really is nice. But yeah, I recommend the gold ones. At first, probably like yourselves, I was thinking, oh, it's just a gimmick, you know, it makes them look nice and that's it. But it really does work. That titanium nitride coating, plasma coating, really does work. As I said, at first I thought, well, you know, the rest of the steel's just normal M2 steel, so how can it last longer? But I went on Robert Sorby's website and they've got some videos on there explaining, and like they explained on there, basically every time you sharpen it, you're getting a fresh face of titanium nitride, which is a lot. In fact, titanium nitride, I do believe, is coming on close to tungsten carbide. It's not far off being as hard as tungsten carbide. So that'll give you some idea. But they really do keep an edge longer. I wouldn't say twice as long, but certainly 50 to 75% longer. So if you're like me and don't want to be visiting the grinder, they really do work. As I say, I've only got a very small workshop / shed, and I haven't space to have a grinder out all the time. So this really does aid me. It keeps me going long between getting the grinder, dragging the grinder out. They really do work. Recommend them. If you're thinking about them or mulling them over, I would say go for it. They're more expensive for obvious reasons, but they really do last longer between sharpenings. Right, we'll call that it. This is going to be a short one. I will be reviewing various other tools in my upcoming videos. We're going to go into scrapers and parting tools and all sorts of things. So keep with it, guys, and I look forward to joining you again. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.